Hello, welcome back to It's New. Morty is hungover from the Super Bowl, so he's not here
Brilliant.
today. But in any event,
And for any new listeners out there, Barry once reported on brand mentions in the Super Bowl, and he spelled Super Bowl bowel, and he left it up in his headline.
it was good stuff. Any event, I'll be covering the Google February 2026 Discover Core update. Greg, what do you got for us?
It's not only CPCs that are up, stock prices too.
And a new.
Google releases a diagnostics hub for data connections.
Okay, so weird news. Google had its first Discover specific core update. I don't think Google ever released a Discover specific core update. Usually core updates actually go ahead and affect Discover in addition to search. It's mostly around search, but this core update is only Discover. Google's John Mueller said, "This is a broad update to our systems that surface articles in Discover." And they says, "Our testing shows that people find Discover experience more useful and worthwhile with this update. Specifically, they're going to be looking at showing more locally relevant content, reducing sensational content and clickbait in Discover, and showing more in-depth, original, and timely content from websites that have expertise in a certain area." Now, keep in mind, since this is locally stuff and is only first launching in the US English right now, it's going to expand in the coming months to other regions. You will probably see, if you are an international publisher, you will probably see less traffic from Google Discover because this is, again, rolling out in the US first, which is going to say, don't show me international, non-US, non-local type of traffic. This is a big update, I guess. It's going to take about up to 2 weeks to roll out. And I'm not sure when the more global version will actually launch, but right now it's US English only. And it's hard to track Discover in general. So it's like, you can't just say, oh, it affected this amount of sites, because the Google Discover in general traffic is very, very, very volatile. And you don't know what's going to pop and what's not going to pop. So in the short term, again, US publishers should see more traffic from US consumers. But in the long term, it seems like things will even out because international publishers will get more traffic internationally than in the US and so forth. So that's my take on this. Yeah, there are people saying even before this core update that they were noticing significant Discover changes, and I guess Google was testing it because he said during our test. But again, keep in mind that if you see unusual Discover stuff, it might be because of this, or it might just because it's just Discover is unusual in general.
And I like the element of reducing that sensational content. I was just checking my Discover here. I'm not sure if anything's rolling out, but I know that that's going to be a huge impact to people that are just trying to go and get clicks, those sort of just, you won't believe them now type posts and things like that. Yeah. There's been a lot of that. I honestly have not used Discover a ton, but I've seen a lot of sensational stuff. And I'd assume that if you're out there making great stuff, you'll be rewarded hopefully with this. And there's going to be a lot of people that, like we've seen with Mountain AI, it's hopefully going to be a reckoning day.
Hopefully. Again, this is only going to affect those in the US right now, so keep an eye on that. Those international might not see this for some time. All right, Greg, let's talk about earnings.
Okay, Google's Q4 ad revenue is in, or Alphabet, the parent company, and it is Google's ad revenue specifically is up 14%. They had a massive Q4 2025. Overall revenue was up 17% at 113.8 billion. There's a lot of kind of gems. Barry pulled some of them out in the financial from that spreadsheet or highlights. So one thing I thought was wild was YouTube revenue hit $60 billion for the full year in 2025 for the first time ever. That does count ads and that does count subscriptions, but they have done a fantastic job with YouTube and it's really paying off. Services also did a great job. So all the workspace, cloud, everything like that increased almost at 100 billion, right at like 96 billion. So that was up 14%. And they're just in a great spot. Right. And when we talk about all these AI wars and everything like that, you see ChatGPT putting ads in, you see, Anthropic now roasting them. You see that Google has something that OpenAI doesn't. They have like not only a revenue stream, they have like a legit monster here with what's going on. And like really I didn't think they broke anything out Gemini wise, right, Barry?
They did say, specific with search, basically in the US, they saw a daily AI mode queries double since the launch of AI overviews and so forth. So they doubled
Okay.
the amount of AI mode queries, which again is just Google pushing people into it.
Yeah, I know they had like 10 billion tokens used a minute or something, but I don't know
Yeah,
what that
a lot of
means.
Gemini stuff. They did really well. Also, they hit the first $400 billion a year. But they are
Yes.
going to use a lot of their revenue to invest more heavily in AI and data centers and all that type of stuff. So they're going to use a lot of their revenues and profits, which is why I think their stock dropped a little bit. Maybe because people think they're investing too much. I don't know. But it was a wild quarter.
Yeah, well, if their stock dropped, it might be time to buy again. I know it's up like 30% recently, but yeah, amazing. Oh, like Barry said, over $400 billion. Pretty crazy. And I just think they're in the best position in these AI wars with this monster that they have.
It is a monster for sure. All right, and then ad stuff.
Yeah, so a spot that was made by Georgy Zayakov, he saw that Google Ads now has added a diagnostics hub that allows now advertisers to spot issues early, and you'll get like a status label of like excellent, good, needs attention, or urgent, and an actionable alert that literally just tells you what you need to do. So like for issues like refused credentials, formatting errors, failed imports, and it also runs a history and shows recent syncs attempts and error counts, so that you know how often that you're failing in that area. So yeah, nice visible area to ensure that you're doing your data connections properly. So check that out.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Anu. We are back tomorrow with more It's New. Everyone have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.